You've returned again, haven't you? Every night you find your way back to this corner of the old guardhouse. You sit, waiting, as if the story pulls you here by the collar. Very well. Since you insist, listen carefully. It was a time when art was treasured, and artists were treated like royalty. And me? I was too uneducated to understand art, yet just noble enough to protect it. A strange balance, I suppose. The world was caught between a famine that had just passed and a great war that had not yet begun. But in that brief calm, the city had erupted with excitement. The most famous violin virtuoso of the age was set to perform. His name, Alder von Mercheval, a name spoken with reverence across kingdoms. I had been sent to the city a whole month earlier to prepare the hall, arrange the stage, run errands, and keep order behind the scenes. They gave me a room beneath the grand hall, small, damp, but near the kitchen. A warm bowl of soup each night was enough to keep a man loyal. My pay was daily, and for those days, it was considered more than generous. The state valued the arts. Prestige demanded it. When the great celebration was announced, the whole city hummed like a plucked string. I didn't know then that this would become the story people whisper about the way they whisper about ghosts. As the concert drew near, the work multiplied. I didn't complain. I had known the job was heavy. But then came the trouble. One cold morning, news arrived like a knife to the gut. The convoy carrying the artists had been ambushed, 4 train stations away, looted clean. Panic, absolute panic. The director found me. "You," he said, "you look sturdy." He gave me a list and 2 young lads to carry the load. Our destination? Master Anf, the greatest and grumpiest luthier in the region. It was a 2-day journey in the opposite direction. Cold, miserable, but I enjoyed it. Directing those 2 boys gave me a sense of power. "Lift this," I'd say. "Watch your step." They listened. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the one bowing. I was the one nodding. Master Anf received us reluctantly, muttering under his breath, "Modern artists never carry spares. Never. In my day, they treat instruments like toys. In the 1700s, a musician would die before he let his violin break. Now, they want replacements in a week." His complaints filled the room like dust. But his hands were miracles. He worked like a madman, day and night. While he carved, we waited at the village tavern. And that is where the story truly changes. Her name, well, let's keep that to myself. She served the ale with a smile that could melt the winter frost. We ate dried meat, drank bitter beer, and for a few days, I forgot about the concert. I forgot about the poverty. I fell in love, briefly and painfully, as soldiers and servants often do. But that is another story. After 7 days, Master Anf finished everything. When Anf finished, he handed me the case. "Be careful," he warned. "The wood is peculiar, ancient timber, hard as iron. It's like my father's legacy to me. He would say to use it in the most difficult situations. He brought this tree from distant lands. It didn't live long enough for him to use it, nor did I have the courage to disrespect his memories by using it." I peeked inside on the train ride back. It didn't look like wood. It shone with a strange, dark luster, and the smell, not varnish, not resin, it smelled like ozone, like the air before a lightning strike. Its wood carried a scent unlike anything I had known. I checked it every night on the road back, half afraid it would vanish, half afraid it would awaken. I didn't understand violins, notes, or the secrets of tonewood, but that instrument felt alive. We returned just in time. I delivered the instrument, pocketed my extra pay, and shared some with the boys. Good lads. I hope they made it out. The night of the Grand Gala. The hall was packed. Kings, queens, generals, and me standing in the wings, invisible. I delivered every item without incident. My wages piled in my pocket, and I even shared some with the young men. Fair is fair. As the night of the great celebration approached, my thoughts drifted only to her, the warmth of the tavern, the softness of her gaze. In my crude handwriting, I had sent her many letters. None came back. But hope is a stubborn thing. Then the night arrived. The palace shimmered with torches. Nobles, politicians, scholars, every important soul in the region gathered inside. The air smelled of silk, perfume, and arrogance. And there, at the center of the stage, Alder von Mercheval lifted the violin we had carried across half the country. At first, everything felt right. The sound, I swear to you, it was beautiful. Even to a man like me who understood nothing of art, it could make me drunk, I whispered to myself. Sharp, powerful, yet clean. But then, the notes changed. The hall grew still, too still, like the air itself was holding its breath. The violin's voice deepened, no longer music, but a trembling beneath the skin. A sound below hearing, yet inside the body. People shifted uneasily. Some touched their arms, as if cold fingers had brushed them. Others stared at the corners of the hall, wide-eyed, pupils shaking. At the time, I didn't know the word for it. Didn't know that some instruments, by accident or by curse, could resonate around 19 hertz, a frequency that clawed at the human mind. A sound too low to hear, yet strong enough to summon fear, shadows, and hallucinations. But I saw the effects. One scream, then two, then chaos. People climbed over one another, desperate, blind with terror. Some swore something was moving in the dark. Others begged for the music to stop. The hall became a pit of bodies, crushing each other in sheer panic. A crack split the ceiling. Stone rained down. The palace groaned like a dying beast. And at the center, Aldervon kept playing, eyes empty, bow trembling like a man possessed, until the final collapse buried both him and the violin beneath tons of marble. I survived for one reason only. I had stepped outside to smoke, to read the latest letter I had written to her, a letter I never got to send. Had that moment not pulled me out, I would have been crushed like the rest. You ask why no one speaks of it, why the newspapers were silent, why the world pretends it never happened. Perhaps the officials buried it. Perhaps fear smothered truth. Or perhaps every word I've told you is a lie. But you keep coming back. You keep sitting here night after night, because deep down, you know it's real. And that is why you've returned again.